Hey everybody, welcome back. This week we are diving right in to the fruits of the Spirit, kindness and goodness. And I put the two together, one because we have a 6-week journey and we have more than 6 fruits of the Spirit promised to us, but also because at first I was actually wondering what on earth I might have to share about it, because you're told be good all your life or to show kindness, and it seems like it's almost something that's said so often that it's lost all of its value and its meaning. But the surprising thing is actually when I went back into the scriptures to read what they were talking about when they promised the fruits of the Spirit, right after that, the next chapter is titled Doing Good to All, and it breaks it down in such a beautiful and understandable way. So I'd like to start this week off by reading it to you. Brothers, if someone is caught in a sin, you who are spiritual should restore him gently, but watch yourself, or you may also be tempted. Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. So specifically this week I want to talk about kindness and goodness in response to when someone hurts you, or is angry with you, or says or does something that really wounds you. And it could be anything. It could be family, it could be a spouse, it could be a coworker, it could be somebody in the grocery store checkout aisle who gives you a sour look or comments on the way that your kids are behaving. And in that moment, and in the consequent moments that follow, we have a choice to respond with kindness and in a way that is contrary to what we have just received. And sometimes in the moment that's practically impossible, and you just need to zip your lips and walk the other direction. But then following that, I find a lot of times if I'm hurt, I start brooding and thinking about it and obsessing about it, and it's not healthy. And God knows that it's not healthy for us, and it's not helpful for our spirit, and it doesn't align with His heart. So that's why there is this warning here for us. And really, the whole world has gotten behind this idea of an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. You go talk to your friends and you say, well, so-and-so did this to me and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh yeah, that's so unfair. We got you, girl. But when we think about it, it's not really even about us and them. Our whole lives aren't about us and them. Our lives are about us and God. And if we love God, then that's what gives us the strength and the determination to move forward with kindness and to choose goodness and trying to pull out the good that we see in people, pray for our enemies and love those who hurt us. That's what Christ teaches us. Now, this plays out so much in our house between our 2 middle children, my daughter and my son, because I think that they actually have so much in common, but they absolutely have to feel like they need the last word in every argument. So the arguments never end. And I have to remind them often, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Because in this moment, you can't do both. You can't be right and be happy, because your constant need to be making the last point to prove that you're the one that's right is draining all of the love and happiness from our whole family. So this is what we have to think for ourselves. And Christ wants us to be happy. He knows ultimately who's in the right, who's in the wrong, and the whole picture of the story. We don't even know the whole picture of the story, but God does. And yet that's not what's important to Him. What's important to Him is the relationships and the way that we are able to respond when we're in these situations. And if I'm faithful and I ask the Spirit to help me by praying for the person and by praying for a spirit of kindness and goodness, He shows up, because this is the way, one of the most outrageous ways that Jesus shows His love, and God shows His love by loving our enemies. And so I hope that this week going forward, you're able to practice showing kindness and goodness when it's undeserved, and that in doing so, you can grow closer to God, and that you'll feel more strongly the love of Jesus and the kindness and the goodness of the Holy Spirit in your heart and in your lives. So have a great week, and we'll see you next time.